In your 20s and 30s, the playbook pushes one directive: accumulate. You aggressively scale your income, obsessively stack your portfolio, and maximize returns. But you can successfully hit your late 30s with a massive net worth on paper and still have a completely fragile foundation underneath it all. That vulnerability comes from hidden single points of failure. It happens when 95% of your revenue relies on one career path, or when your physical metabolism slows down and you ignore your health. Or worse, when you have a high balance in your checking account, but zero clarity on what that capital is actually supposed to do for you. Crossing the threshold into your 40s shifts the priority from expansion to resilience. Resilience means ensuring your assets are shielded from taxes and legal delays while serving specific family needs. Approaching age 40 is an excuse to run a complete operating system upgrade on your life, ensuring your wealth actually serves you, rather than the other way around. This chart shows the most critical math equation for midlife wealth. The horizontal line represents your flat lifestyle expenses, and the rising line is your income. The goal here is to aggressively widen the gap between the two, a space known as the delta. Protecting that delta means avoiding lifestyle inflation. It's common to see people making $500,000 to $1 million a year in fields like commercial real estate, yet they spend almost all of it to scale up their designer clothes and luxury cars. Keeping your personal burn rate modest while your earnings grow is what actually builds lasting wealth. That growing delta gives you capital to invest, and a primary target should be maxing out a Roth IRA. In your 20s, a standard 3-fund ETF portfolio makes sense. But as you get closer to 40, you might rethink that conservatism. I personally abandoned broad ETFs in my Roth to concentrate on just 5 tech stocks: Tesla, Microsoft, Robinhood, Nvidia, and Meta. Taking on that level of concentrated risk makes mechanical sense inside a Roth IRA. Because the holding period extends until age 59 and a half, any exponential growth you capture over the next 2 decades is completely sheltered from all future taxes. There is a mechanical barrier here. If you make over $168,000 as an individual, you hit an IRS income limit and cannot contribute directly to a Roth. To solve this, use the Backdoor Roth workaround. You take your capital and contribute it to a standard traditional IRA first. Once sitting in that traditional IRA reservoir, immediately convert those funds over to the Roth account. This legally bypasses the income limit and secures tax-free growth. But protecting your growth means nothing if your cash flow dries up. Relying on a single primary business, like a creator whose income is 95% tied to YouTube, creates massive platform risk. Adding a rental property or a side business, even if it brings in an extra $500 a month, creates a crucial backup plan. Advanced accumulation in your late 30s requires engineering a mathematically resilient gap between what you earn and what you burn, and then defending those margins. Defense also requires massive liquidity. A standard 3 to 6 month emergency fund is fine for your 20s, but building a fortress means keeping 12 full months of living expenses parked. The true return on investment for a 12-month cash reserve isn't the yield, it is absolute mental freedom. If your entire industry collapses tomorrow, you have a full year to pivot without making desperate decisions. That defensive mindset has to extend to mortality. Navigating the death of a parent often reveals the harsh reality of imperfect estate planning. For example, a forgotten rusted wooden trailer sitting on a family property might seem like trash, but if that trailer has an undiscovered title attached to it, clearing the estate suddenly halts. Minor documentation gaps like this cause major administrative nightmares for the people you leave behind. To prevent this, you need a bulletproof estate plan before you hit 40. This means working with a trust attorney to execute specific documents, including a living will and a healthcare power of attorney, which clearly dictate your preferences if you are incapacitated. The final defensive asset is your own biology. By your late 30s, your body's metabolism naturally slows down, and random joint pain becomes a daily reality. Skipping your annual physicals and dental appointments translates directly into long-term financial and physical risk. Your capital is completely useless if your estate is frozen in probate court, or if your body is too broken down to actually enjoy it. Strong defense is what enables your financial offense. Eventually, you have to transition from optimizing your money to actually utilizing it. In many cultures, this phase is defined by filial piety, the personal obligation to provide physical and financial support to your aging parents. This kind of deployment intentionally breaks standard financial optimization. Taking care of family might dictate that you stay in an incredibly expensive geographic market, like the San Francisco Bay Area, completely ruling out a move to a cheaper tax haven. It also forces a tension between emotion and math, especially when you weigh buying a home so an aging parent doesn't have to keep renting. This visual breaks down the current economic reality. On the left is the heavy cost of a 6.5% mortgage. On the right, you see the cost of renting, combined with the compound growth you get from investing the difference of what would have been your down payment. Strictly by the numbers, renting and investing mathematically beats buying a house right now, but spreadsheets don't account for human life. At this stage, the psychological comfort of customizing a property, securing a fixed utility payment, and providing a permanent home for your family often overrules maximizing your compound interest. All these tactics, the tax strategies, the liquid reserves, and the estate plans, are tools designed to buy back your future. To use them effectively, you need a 10 to 15-year North Star vision that dictates what you are actually building toward. A good way to frame this is the Thursday test. Look at your schedule today. Does your current random Thursday look identical to a Thursday 7 years from now, or does it look completely different? Turning 40 marks the transition from survival tactics to legacy planning. It provides the clarity needed to decide whether the habits of your 30s still serve the person you intend to become. So stop merely auditing your investment portfolios. Begin auditing your lifestyle delta. Check the strength of your defensive moats and start defining your ultimate vision for the decade ahead.